I'm a rice cake fan, but I haven't had a cracker in ages.
Yeah, pretty good. I think when we went out to see my friend in Korea, that was the two things that she specifically missed about England was like crackers and like mature cheddar cheese.
Right.
So we took her out some cheddar cheese so we could have cheese and crackers whilst we were out there.
Nice.
Sneaked it through customs.
Yeah, that's what you got to do, man. When you need cheese, it's just got to happen, hasn't it? I am quiet, apparently. That's a shame. I don't know why that is. Okay, let's have a look. Is it to do with my Zoom thing? It's been chatting away all morning. Okay, let's have a look. Let's try that. Hopefully, is that any better?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with that and see if we can. See what I might just clip it on. I'm too vain. That's a problem. I don't want to clip it on my shirt, but yeah. Let me know if that's better.
That's definitely better.
Okay, that's what we want. We want proper volume. Yeah, power volume. Hey, folks, got some staff on board. We'll see them more later on. Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, nearly ready to go on the last session. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for some more people to get in because I think we're shifting over. We're bringing you all together, folks, into one classroom now. This is the final session. It's a bit like, yeah, no, it's nothing like the briefing event because that was a monster, wasn't it? That was 5 classrooms all united. But yeah, it's nice to be in Zoom actually. Yeah, it's nice to be kind of in the same classroom as you.
Yeah, I've definitely enjoyed seeing people's faces a bit more now. I saw them in the crits, but it's like, I think last night it was lovely at the party to see everyone's faces. So it's good to see in this little space rather than me and Fred just talking to each other.
Exactly, which it often is. It has to be said, it often is. Yeah, no, it's been a very different experience. Often we're in the room, so we see everybody and we can walk around their tables and go, that looks good. I'm going to give you my opinion. But here it's been much less of a process in terms of, yeah, we've been a little bit, I think in the way there's a plus though, because you can, obviously we're working internationally and you can just pop into people's rooms and stuff. And yeah, it can be quicker when you're in different locations for sure.
Sure. Yeah, no, I think it's been really interesting to see kind of who's made those proverbial kind of tables within their spaces. I think like a lot of the Morosa boards I've seen have become little office spaces, like little spaces for all of the different bits of work you need to do. And it's almost like hot desking around a virtual board. So
yeah,
I feel very inspired by that. I would love to do more.
Yeah, well, you are the queen of Miro after all. We didn't use Miro until last module before,
Yeah.
a couple of modules, and it's transformed everything, has to be said. It's a really good indication of how you just have to always be ready for new stuff and always, because there's so much good stuff coming out of the digital space that you need to kind of, it's almost a full-time job to keep an eye on it, isn't it, really?
For sure. I think I may have been outdone though by some of the students. Everyone's like been using the board to really its full capacity. So
wow.
I've learned a lot as it is, but yeah, it's definitely important to keep an eye on what updates and if you're used to a program, to refresh it and have a look and say what's got different here. And we've done that for a lot of times, especially for Slack as well. So
yeah, and Slack's changed a lot in the time that we've been using it. Yeah, that is the trap. I'm going to speak to you from the perspective of a slightly older gentleman and tell you that yeah, I think it's very easy to just going to go, this is what I do. Like, I'm pretty good in Illustrator, but I'm not so hot in Photoshop. But you've got to keep learning. It's a lifelong journey, that's for sure. But yeah, it's very easy to get say, oh, this works. I've got this thing here and this is my thing and I do it and it works and that's cool. And then you don't grow, and it's important to keep growing.
Yeah,
that's all about. Nice. All righty, I think we'll start. Thank you for joining for the last session. But before we get into some chat, I'd just like to do what we did last night at the party. Could everybody turn their cameras on? Not your mics, but let's get some cameras on. I just want to see everybody and for you to all see each other. Keep the mics off, please. Yay, let's do it. Look at this. That is what I like. How many screens can we fill here? You've got a little tab on the right and the left. So I'm scrolling through now. Look at all these people. So good to see you all. This is the biggest module we've ever done. And as a result, I have had a very, I'm going to have to do some screen capture here because this is just too much for me. I'm going to have to just go pow. Because, yeah, it's been such a joy working with you. But because of the scale of the module, we haven't necessarily seen each other as much as we might have done otherwise. So there we go. A very selfish little bit of, oh, I've got another one. Oh, there we go. A bit of photo taking. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. And obviously we've got staff in there as well. You'll be seeing a little bit more from them later on. And we seem to have a man with a pink hat and a pair of sunglasses. Oh no, the sunglasses are off. There we go. All righty. Great. Thank you for humoring me. We will now get on with it, and I will stop wasting your time. But at the same time, hopefully it's lovely to see this for you as well, to see the scale of it, the scale of this last module, this module. Yeah. Now I'm going to ask you to turn your cameras on. I'm going to ask you to turn your cameras off. Actually, you probably didn't, one of you wanted. I'm going to share some slides. So that's what happens now. So yeah, let's do this slide sharing thing, and you can do actually what you like. I think if you want a bunch of faces along with these slides, you're very welcome. So now you should all be seeing a slide that says module day 10. I do hope that's what everyone's got. So last session, I've already done this. Cameras on, so we can skip that bit. But yeah, it was a journey. And we're now at the end of the journey. Our time together is nearly over. I am going to now, just temporarily, don't panic, you can do what you want after this session ends. I'm now going to dissolve all the project groups completely. And you are now all individuals. You are now lone operators. And we are back where we started right at the beginning of the workshop. And of course, there is no coincidence that I am wearing the same shirt as I did on day one. Perhaps you noticed, perhaps you didn't, but yes, we have come full circle. And as module regulars will know, oh, slide's not working. Okay, that's not good. I'm off on my thing and it ain't working. So let's have another go at that. All right, I was just about to get started. And let's try again. How about that? Are the slides working? Oh, hang on. Sorry, touch glitch. Last session, it's always the way. Let's try one more time. So I'm trying to share screen 2. Off. And then if I press play, surely that should work. No slides there? Yes, I've got a yes there. Is that better? I can see some faces as well, which is great. Nice to see you, Ladron. Okay, we're looking at a good here. Fantastic. There you go. Tech team, save my bacon once again, or indeed my tofu. Anyway, rewind. So you're all individuals. Our time together is nearly over. I'm wearing the same shirt as day one. And as many module regulars will know, the workshop is almost over when I start reading poetry. So now I'm going to read you some poetry. Here we go. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. And that's from one of the greatest poems ever written by T.S. Eliot, The Wasteland. We're back at the beginning of the circle. Where did we start? What happened? This is just where we were before. We're all in a Zoom call as individuals. Our intention was to discover and develop innovative projects that make the world a better place. I am going to tick that box if I may be so bold. Our intention was to further empower you as creative practitioners. Now, I can't tick that box, but I hope we did. That was something that I have a lot of feedback from you around. And so I feel good about that intention being fulfilled. And it's nice to know where you're going when you set off on a journey. We went through the double diamond. We discovered a whole bunch of ideas. We defined them down to a brief last Thursday. We then developed them. And finally, yesterday, we delivered them. This description, your emotional arc. We had a sense of excitement and limitless possibility. We then, all of you, entered a place of overwhelming complexity, but you got right to prototyping through quick mock-ups and experiences, and then you found these unifying insights which really served you on your journey. It may be that some of you had a complete loss of confidence, but you got the help you needed from your teammates or the team, And then we had the brutal realities of implementation, and they were quite brutal, and I do apologize. But as I've said before, if you had more time, you'd probably end up in the same place just a bit later on. And now we are on to completion. It's done. Enjoy the sense of accomplishment. You may also experience some postpartum malaise. That's a hangover, basically. Fine, that's natural. Don't wallow in it. Do take time to celebrate your accomplishment. We did that last night and today, and reflect on the process. This is what we're doing right now. You're never really done anyway. You will likely repeat at least some part of this process someday. Reflection is important to make your next steps more efficient. You went into the fog. Maybe it wasn't the first idea that you saw you thought was great. And I think for many of you, you pivoted and you found your great idea. End of that journey, you used both structural and generative, or yin and yang, or left brain and right brain energy, and we're in those modes at different times. We moved from one to the other. You expanded your broad understanding and probably also delved into your deep knowledge. You all had a vision, a strategy, and a product, which you showed us all yesterday. And some of you pivoted, and that's okay. But your vision, I think, maintained its focus all the way. We were working in an agile way and using things like sprint processes. And again, it was quite fast. These are taken from the digital industries. And I hope you certainly got a whole lot of entrepreneurial mindset out of it, the idea of creating your very own vision rather than waiting for a job to come to you. And you certainly all got good at the digital workflow, everybody flourishing in that digital space and really getting comfortable with this new way of working. And most importantly, you experienced the enormous and magical power of cross-disciplinary collaboration, which really is the special stuff. It's the magic. And yeah, it's just one of those things. There's lots of research around this. And yeah, there's nothing like experiencing it for yourself. So they were all great projects, but the point was the journey. I wanted you to generate your own visions and briefs and deliver them, and then move on to the next thing if you want to, or if you want to stay with this, that's fine. But the point was to get from this place to this place, from where we were on day one to where we are now. It's tough out there in the creative industries, and there are so few jobs out there. There's plenty of unpaid internships, and Kate Moros spoke about that last week. But you are way more employable if you can imagine and then deliver your own projects, and then show any potential employer or client that you're doing that on your own. So that is a real focus, I think. And yeah, I hope we've given you enough tools to help you move forward and make decisions and use these new skills. You have the thinking hats, you have the time boxing, you have all sorts of other things that we did over the last fortnight that you can use in your practice. So what next for your projects? I just want to touch on this because it's quite important. You can, of course, leave them right where you are now. There's no obligation to continue any of these projects. You may be done with them, and then that's fine. And we've celebrated them. I'm sure you've all enjoyed working in, I hope you've all enjoyed working in teams like that. But you could just leave it there. If you are part of, if you are studying currently, then it is certainly a possibility that you could submit part of them, or I've seen students on this workshop submit projects and work developed in Modual to their courses, and that is totally an option. We're absolutely fine with that. You could try pitching these workshops, these projects, and I would, if you're feeling enthusiastic about it, and I have heard a few groups say that you feel that this has a life potentially beyond Modual, beyond this workshop, and we have had several examples of that, of projects that flourished after the workshop. You could find investors or put them on Kickstarter. You have pretty much, well, you've got a lot, not all, but a lot of what you need to go on Kickstarter. But just to be super clear, do play nicely with each other. Do be generous with each other. If one of your group doesn't want to continue, then I would suggest that you would, that person should just leave and say good luck and get on with it, and no ownership or IP or anything like that. I think these projects were all generated from Modual. You wouldn't have developed them without the workshop. So yeah, play nicely, check in with each other. If some people want to continue and some people don't, respect that decision. And if you want to walk away gracefully. That would be my advice. So to those of you that are considering or already currently in design or creative arts education, what next for you when you graduate from your courses? I just want to talk to this a little bit because it's something that I care about. And Modual was designed very much to empower people once they graduate, although it's absolutely a powerful experience to take within education. It was originally conceived as something that would serve graduates to go out into the creative industries. So in my opinion, you have three choices when you graduate. You can be an employee of another design company, and that's absolutely fine. Another creative company. I was a junior designer for 4 years. You have to accept that your work is going to be taken by the company you work for, and they may well put their name on it. That you'll be doing what you're told, or working on projects that are not necessarily of your choice. There's a lot to learn there, and I would very much recommend, if that's something that you feel, if you're a little nervous perhaps, or I needed 2 years as a junior designer personally. Other people on this workshop, in fact, didn't. But I went into a design studio for a couple of years and got my skills up. So that is definitely an option. But again, remember that in that case, you are working on projects that you wouldn't necessarily choose, and the company that employs you, it has the right to white label your projects, as it were. Second choice, you could be a freelancer, and to be a freelancer means that you're more of a gun for hire, and you can work on a whole bunch of different projects. You can be a bit more choosy as well, and that's nice. But again, if someone is employing you to do their project, then you are very much allowing yourself to be white labeled, is the technical term. So you're pitching in to someone else's job, and they then pay you, but they take the credit. So the third thing you could do, and perhaps you haven't considered this before Modual, is you could start your own studio with your peers. And that means you become more of an independent operation, and you have a lot more choice. And if you have enjoyed this experience of working with your peers, with your friends, or with just these colleagues, because they weren't your friends 2 weeks ago, you didn't know them, then if you've enjoyed this experience, this is how your working life could be if you want it to. It's more risky. No one is paying you on a regular basis. There are potentially overheads, although much less now in the digital age. But as I said, after I worked as a junior designer, I chose this path. I graduated from St. Martin's, and I shudder to say this, in the last century. Oh, look at that date. Oh my God, so long ago. After a few years, as I say, working freelance and as a junior designer, I then started a company called Airside with two of my very best friends. And we ran for 14 years, and we had a lot of fun. And a lot of the thinking behind Modual came from this experience of being in a shared studio. And you've had that experience. This is what it looks like in the real world, with a whole bunch of people working on a whole bunch of different things. So yeah, you could do this. You could start your own studio. There's another picture of the Airside gang. And, you know, we had a lot of fun. You're sharing the victories with your friends, and there's someone to help you pick yourself up at the end of it. You don't have to be on your own in a workspace that you don't necessarily agree with. You can create your own culture and create your own environment, and make sure that you are supported by that, which I think is, as you've noticed, Modual has a very specific culture, and that's something that I certainly began to understand and experience and develop as a result of co-running Airside. My first girlfriend's dad said to me, I was wondering what to do with my life. He said to me, the secret of life is to find the thing that you really enjoy doing, that you're good at, you know, that's drawing or playing music or whatever it is. What are you doing? And then find out what you can get paid to do. And that is the sweet spot there. If you can find something that you like doing and that someone will pay you to do it, that is a good place to be. But I would argue that there's one more circle here. There is also what I care about. And if you can get those three circles together, you really are in a good place. Because Modual is our version of this. We care about this stuff. We love delivering it. And fortunately, it gets funded very generously by the University of the Arts, London. So yeah, we have a vision, which is I won't go into it in too much detail, but we want to empower emerging creative talent. And our strategy is delivering workshops, both online and in the room. And our product is the product you're seeing before you. And I'm sure you spotted us optimizing it over the course of the last 2 weeks. So yeah, Modual is a product of that process and that model. So I've got another quote I want to read you, which is speaks to the notion of us creating projects for social change and positive change. And the quote is this: "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world." That's you lot, by the way. And here's the punchline: "Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." Margaret Mead. You might just read that again. "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." The world is in a mess, but we are in this amazing technological dawn where, yes, there are downsides and upsides, but it gives you the power to fix this mess. It's not up to government anymore, unfortunately. It does not up for big corporates. You can fix some of these problems, and so go fix it, please, and have a good time doing it together. That is enough from me. Almost. We're going to do one last sharing exercise, but before we do, there is one more poem I want to read you. Here we go. This is from the internet. I've adapted it a little bit, but it's a great poem, and it speaks to the notion of active listening and sharing. Here we go. "When I ask you to listen to me and you start giving me advice, you have not done what I asked. When I ask you to listen to me and you begin to tell me why I shouldn't feel that way, you are trampling on my feelings. When I ask you to listen to me and you feel you have to do something to solve my problem, you have failed me, strange as that may seem. So please listen and just hear me. And if you want to talk, wait a minute or 2 or 3 for your turn, and I will listen to you." So one last sharing exercise. The question we want you to answer is, how was it for you? How was the Modual experience? We've already talked about this a bit, but we want to just get you in a one-on-one on that. And what did you learn here? And of course, as always, we are going to model it for you because, yeah, that feels like the best way to do this. So Abby is ready to, let's have a look, stop sharing. There we go. Abby is ready. And it is traditional, as Abby knows, only too well, I can't get away from it, for me to do this. So let's do, I think we'll do 2 minutes, but if you guys want to do 3 minutes, that's fine later on. But let's just do it. Okay. Whenever you're ready, give me a go.
Cool. All right. How was that for you? And what did you learn?
It was amazing, as always. It was a roller coaster ride. I actually, for some reason, was quite confident walking into it, but that was, and yeah, quite rightly, because here we are. But yeah, real ups and downs. I remembered again, how often do I need to learn this? That if I can trust the people I'm working with, and just let go, then that is the way to make the thing better, and not try and get involved in everything. Which is what I tell people to do, but sometimes I don't do it. I learned that if I am feeling a little bit uncomfortable with something, I should probably voice it or address it, because things improved as a result of me not being a victim or a martyr and saying I need this here, and I'm not just going to take too much on. I learned to look after myself a lot more on this workshop, I think. And I learned about flow, about just allowing things and trusting things and not panicking. There were moments when I panicked in the eye of the storm, and yeah, you could be calm there too. I had some great examples. So trusting it, because it's all fine. It's just it'll go where it goes, and things will always work out. I don't know what else to say. I learned, yeah, the power of collaboration and the power of being a particle in a wave. And I learned the power of international collaboration as well. We had an international team as well as the participants being international. That diversity was amazing.
10 seconds.
I learned that I can do this, and I learned I love doing this. Again.
Perfect.
Great. Okay. What did I say? I don't know.
Let's reflect. All right. 2 minutes from now. Okay. You said that it was amazing and that it was a roller coaster. You said that you actually felt quite confident at first at the beginning of this one before it started as well. You said there's been a lot of ups and downs throughout the process. But you said that you had also learned how to let go and trust people. And it will definitely, if you trust people and let go, that it makes it better and not to get too involved in things. You also said that you learned about and found it really important to voice and address the kind of discomforts that you had. And you said that kind of not to take too much on for yourself. Don't take it all yourself and address it, and it will make it better. You also said you learn how to look after yourself more in this workshop too. Learn about flow and just trusting the process, as we ever so say so many times. And also, you said that there was a couple of moments where you kind of panicked in the eye of the storm, but you realised that it's kind of just got to let it be what it is, because it's all fine. It will go where it goes, and it will always work itself out. You also learned about the power of collaboration and being a particle in this kind of big scheme of things, but not just about that kind of collaboration, about international collaboration and the team that we have as well behind the scenes. It's international. And you also said about the diversity was really amazing, and you love it and you love doing it as well. And I didn't press the timer, I forgot. For the last ever exercise. Classic. You're muted. There you go.
And I'm muted as well, and I'm talking to you. Great. Thanks so much, Abby. That's great. Okay. Well, that was really useful for me. I heard a lot. We're going to ask you to do this with your buddy. So the buddy you've had, there'll be a new list on Slack just to make sure that everyone's got someone to talk to. If you haven't, we'll get you a staff member. So if you can do it on Slack, please, and then we'll come back here. We're going to give you, you can do 3 and 3 if you want. Let's say 3 and 3, because I know there's a lot of people whose English is not their first language, and it'd probably be good to do 3 and 3. So it's 26 minutes past 2. Let's come back at 2:40 in here. So 2:40, that's a full 14 minutes for you to go find a buddy. If you haven't got one, we'll find you one. Do that exercise. How was it for you? And what did you learn? Share and reflect. You know how this goes. And we'll see you back at 2:40. One last exercise. Then we'll wrap it up. See you later.
Bye.
Okay, nearly time up on the sharing exercise. Yeah, last exercise. And yeah, I never fails to amaze me how just listening to somebody, I do it with my partner quite a lot, just listening to somebody else's point of view and just listening, and then their problems get solved in the moment. It's really weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the reflection is like that's like probably my most powerful skill, is like being able to reflect on stuff. And I think that will stick with me forever. And I'm pretty sure I learned that through Modual, you know. So yeah, it's so important to be able to like just really listen to it and go, oh, yeah, I did do all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Integration. This is the bit where you actually get it in your bones, because if you just rush off, it's easy to forget about it. But yeah, it's and I think the intent to reply thing, excuse me, is it's kind of normal, because we're taught about debate. You know, I want to put my point of view and argue with you, and we're all in. I don't know about you, but when I go to a party sometimes and everyone's trying to tell me their funny story and they're not really listening to me, it's very easy to let that go. But yeah, when you just shut up and listen, it makes all the difference to everybody.
Yeah, I often catch myself sometimes. I think like you'll hear when you're having a conversation with someone, you'll hear like the moment to kind of fish for, oh yeah, I know about this thing as well. And like I definitely I can feel it before it happens, and I can immediately put that to bed and just go, I don't need to talk about myself here. I need to listen to what this person's saying and just like let them speak. And I think that's like, I know, like I can get to know a person way better rather than just going, what do we have in common? What do we have in common? When am I going to be able to say something about myself? You know? So I think it's that's definitely something I've learned over the years too. It's like, yeah, being able to like just listen, you know. I don't need to put myself into it yet, because I'm just happy just being a part of it.
Exactly. No, well put. Very well said. Great. Well, I think you have all been doing some quality listening out there. So I'm going to dare to open up the floor to you. Now, we want to just hear if anything popped up. I know we'll discuss this a bit, so maybe this will be a brief bit. We're not necessarily interested in logistics at the moment. If you've got questions about what happens next or anything like that, leave it for the moment. We will come to that later. But yeah, how was that reflection session? How was that exercise? Did you learn anything? And what I want you to do is, if you did, and I'm going to try and share my screen again, fingers crossed. If you did, if you want to say something rather, and you should now see a screen grab of Zoom, please raise your hand. If you click on the participants tab, then there's a raise hand button. And when I see the hand, Abby's got her hand raised right now. When I see a blue hand, I will come to you, and then you can turn your microphone on. You've probably been doing this already. So hopefully that will be okay. So does anybody wish to share now what came out of that exercise in this call? Anybody at all? And if you don't, that's fine, but it'd be lovely to hear from you. Now we're all in the same call at last. Anybody want? If you want to do that, please raise your hand, and we'll take it from there. Yes, Yakta, if you would like to unmute your microphone, and if you want to turn on your camera. Yakta, it's up to you. Over to you. Hey, Yakta.
Yeah, so I think the 2 weeks have been so hectic, and they've been filled with activity. So I think today, like right now with this session, we got like a chance to just sit back and reflect. It's something we didn't get to do this whole time. So I feel like this, talking to my buddy, we've been talking all this while, and she's become very close to me now. And so I feel like when we reflected today, it really felt very nice. It felt very calming after the whole day. So I feel like it was nice.
Thank you, Yakta. That's great to hear. Yeah, exactly. We just wanted to land the plane, we call it. So it's important just to kind of let everything settle. So I'm really glad it was useful. And yeah, hopefully you'll be able to reflect more on what worked and what didn't. Shivani, you go for it. Turn on your camera and your mic. Shivani, you're muted currently. Sorry.
I really enjoyed the whole course, and with my buddy just now, that's what we talked about. So I've made friends with the first group, with the people I had the one-on-one sessions, and the last group. And in all likelihood, I'm going to stay in touch with many of them. And my buddy and I are going to have a nice lunch on Monday. So thank you, Fred. Thank you, Abby. Thank you to all the modular staff. And we loved it. Thank you.
Great. Is that a real world lunch, Shivani? Are you meeting up together?
It's a real world lunch. Yes, in the garden downstairs.
Really
Wow.
glad to hear it. That's great. I want to come like that. Might be a little tricky, but yeah, maybe I'll beam in. Thanks again, Shivani. Much appreciated. Yeah, we'll give you all the chance. But Sol, you would like to speak. Go for it, Sol. Turn on your camera and your microphone.
Hi. I so want a lunch in real life. I think that would be like the best way to finish the Modual workshop. I'm so happy. Yeah.
When we do it in the world, that's what we do. Sorry to make it worse. Sorry.
Well, when the world is open again, we can do it. That would be so great. Thank you so much. I think that if all our projects became true, this world would be definitely a better place. I mean, like when you put it in the first, day, it was like very ambitious, but it's so real. And I am very excited to see how these projects come true in some way. I'm definitely super in to collaborate with anyone if they want to do something in Latin America, but I hope to go soon to London, so to meet you in real life too. Thank you.
Sounds good. So get over here whenever you can. I'm very happy. Otherwise, we'll have to come over there. That would be the other option, of course. Who knows? Who knows? Great. Thanks, Sol. Really, really lovely. Yeah. Anyone else want to share? And please feel free to share whatever you want. I mean, it's lovely getting this positive feedback. But if there's something that was troubling you that you want to bring out here, there'll be an opportunity to do that in a moment as well. If you don't want to share it with the group. But does anybody else want to speak before we move forward? If you do, just press the raise hand button and I will come to you. I see Sainath. I do apologize if I've said that name wrong. Sainath, go for it.
No, it's right. So basically, I think it was great. We had an amazing team. In fact, we wanted to get on a Zoom call as soon as this is over to discuss how to go ahead in the future. So in fact, we may be working on it, and luckily I'll be coming to London this October for joining UL. And in fact, two of my other team members are from UL. So we are actually thinking to continue working on it from UL itself.
Fantastic. That's the way the whole thing should flow, isn't it? That's brilliant. Thank you for letting us know that, Sainath. That's great. Well, hopefully I'll see you. We'll all see you in London. Nice one. Anybody else? Anybody want to share right now? If you do, put your hand up. If not, I will tell you how else you could share in another way. Oh, Manoj, go for it. I couldn't see your hand, but you're on. Can't hear you currently, Manoj. So you are unmuted. Here we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was speaking on mute. So I think I just want to share a couple of things. One, the module program itself, I believe that, in the last 5-6 years, your team has done a wonderful job in coming up with this program like this. And it's wonderful to see how people could collaborate on this digital platform from different countries, different continents at the same time. So thank you for making this possible. And being an engineer, I mentioned this earlier, that I kind of never thought that this is something for me, but I think I made the right choice and got tons of experience through this workshop and met amazing people like the modular staff as well as the team I worked with. So thank you once again. I really had a lot of good time. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj. Very nice of you to tell us. Great. I'm glad. It's amazing, isn't it? When someone with your skills steps into this creative space, then magic happens. It's definitely, everybody can collaborate. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Matilda, go for it.
Hello. Hi. Yeah, no, I thought this was like, the whole workshop was really empowering in a sense. Like, it gives you so much, I feel like it gives you confidence. Like that, I feel like that's like a big takeaway that I've had from this, like, to learn new skills, to like time manage, and to be like, yeah, this is possible, like to do all of this stuff in such a short amount of time. Because personally, I always feel like I'm running out of time, and I don't have the time to do stuff. And sometimes it makes me not even start, because I'm like, I know I'll never get it done. And I feel like this workshop kind of like made me rethink that and be like, hey, give it a try, like we'll see how it goes. So yeah, like really positive like experience. I feel like, yeah, it was really helpful, especially just like just graduating right now, and kind of having this kind of really empowering kind of 2 weeks was really good. Yeah, thank you. Thanks. So yeah.
Thank you, Matilda, for that feedback. Lovely. Abby, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, that was my main takeaway when I was a student on this 4 years ago, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. I had like barely any confidence in standing up and pitching and kind of projecting in that way, and that's something that has stuck with me since. So take those skills and run with them, and enjoy them. But yeah, thank you so much for being a part of it, and appreciate you doing 2 weeks of more work after graduating in an intense environment right now. So really appreciate the commitment.
Yeah, well said. Okay, anybody else want to speak? And if not, we will move on. There's a few more things before we finish. I'm seeing no hands, so I'm going to move on. Okay, so next step is that we often, we always ask people for feedback. You've been giving us a lot of Slack feedback, so thank you very much. We have a feedback form, and we often find, again, often, always, if we ask you to do this after the workshop, you just won't do it. You'll mean to do it and you'll forget about it. So we're going to ask you to do it now. So we have just posted the link to a Google feedback form. It's a really short form. It's not a long thing at all. And I'm going to put on a piece of music in a moment. If you could just give us 5-10 minutes to fill in the form, that would be very much appreciated. And then we've got a few more things to say, and then we're... But right up now, if you could go to your Slack channels and click on the link and fill in the feedback form now, that would be very much appreciated. If you've got any other problems about that, let me know. We'll turn off our screens and I'll put on some music. So Slack, go to Slack, click on the link. If you will, we'd be very grateful. And before I let you go and do that, if you were feeling like there was stuff you wanted to share that you didn't feel comfortable sharing in this arena or with your buddy even, and you want to let us know some more difficult stuff, this is the place to do it, or this is the place to do it. So please, I hope we've shown you that we do respond to constructive criticism. So if you want to say anything at all that you didn't like, and it's been lovely to have all this positive feedback, but if there's anything negative that you'd rather put into a form, I urge you to do it. Right. Okay. I've said enough. Go fill the form in. I'll put on some music. We'll see you in, I think, let's say 13. Right. So just leave the call on, fill the form out. See you in a bit. Okay, folks, I've just heard you might need a little bit more time, so we're going to give you another 5 minutes. So we're going to be back at 3:10. If you need a bit more time, please take it, and we'll come back at 3:10. Okay, so we are going to give you a little bit more time if you need it. We're just going to chat for a few minutes. So don't stop. If you're still filling in your form, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, if you're done, then yeah, I hope it, interesting. Again, just writing it down can often be a new revelation indeed. Also, because yeah, it's you making it concrete. And I always think that you should write everything down. Actually, as soon as you write it down, it becomes real. I can have a really great idea, and if I don't write it down in my notebook, then first of all it vanishes, and it never comes back sometimes. And also it makes me focus on actually what it is. What is the elevator pitch? I have this nice fuzzy thought in my brain, but what does it actually need to do? So we will just hang out here for another few minutes just to let you finish the forms. Again, I appreciate that for many of you, English is not your first language, so feel free to, we'll stop the form section in 3 or 4 minutes because we've got some other stuff we need to do. But yeah, if you absolutely have to fill in some more later, that would be okay. We just like to get them in. If you've done it, submit, that's great, no problem. Fantastic. And thank you again, because as I've said before, the workshop is co-created by you, and all the people who have done Modual have helped us make it better, and all the people that come back are helping shape it as well. So we really get their feedback, like Abby, for example, who, yeah, she said you did the workshop in 2016. Can you remember what you wrote in your feedback form, Abby? I probably got it somewhere.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I think I probably have it somewhere. I think it was I definitely wrote on there that I wanted to work for you guys, and then cemented it by coming up to you afterwards, Fred, being like, "Yeah, next time have me." So
absolutely, we were blessed. Yeah. We were lucky.
But yeah, this whole workshop is just like every single time we get a form, we can look at it and we can improve, and we see where those kind of touch points are where it doesn't necessarily work, and we work on it. So they are golden for us.
They really are. And it's the whole co-creation thing. Again, there's a lot of research that says you don't just deliver and drop it in the middle of people's lives and say, here's the thing, we've got the answer. You have to co-create. So we're very passionate about getting people like you who have been through the module process and understand it way better. I've never taken the module, you know, I've never done it. So yeah, I know there's stuff that I don't know about, quite apart from not being particularly good on social media. I don't actually know what that experience is. I know what it's like to be an art student in the 90s, and that's one place that I come from. But yeah, you lot bring a much more relevant insight, having been through the workshop already. Great. Okay, we'll just give it another minute or two, and then, as I say, if you're desperate to add more later, then that's fine. But we often find that if we do say fill it in later, then no one fills it in. That's the bottom line. And people mean to with the best will in the world, but the feedback is so valuable, as I've already said, that yeah, we're asking to do it now. And what a lovely piece of music. That's almost our theme tune, isn't it?
I feel like it is now. I'll
stick it on the Slack later. It's I've never heard of this band before. This is a random track that came my way, but I'm a big fan. Ocarina by SA. There you go.
I think we may have to make like a module mixtape of all the kind of, there's a couple of songs that I can tie to previous modules in my life. So I think we may have to do a module mix, Fred. And
yeah, sounds good, man. Let's get a playlist sorted out. There was a few tunes getting dropped last night. Yeah, I know both me and Abby stepped away from it when we were done, but yeah, it was quite a do. What a fun time that was. Very much again appreciate you. You got to celebrate. There's that thing in that description about celebrating your achievements, and it's very important. And talking of operations, there's a few logistical details that we need to go into, and we will do that after this very important thing that we need to do first of all, which is that many of you have already been very generous about your feedback about the module team, and it is very much a team, a collaborative effort. But I want to make sure they all get their recognition. Some of them are working behind the scenes to serve you, and you may not have seen them before. So we're going to get them all up here. And if you are appreciating them, maybe at the end of when they've spoken, you could turn your cameras on and give them a wave. That would be nice. Yeah, that would be a way of showing them your appreciation, perhaps, if everyone turned their cameras on, if you feel like it. at the end of people's checking in. But Abby, you're up first. How was it for you? Yeah. Are you? Yeah. Over to you.
Putting me on the spot, Fred. Blimey, I wasn't expecting that. I'm usually last. Yeah. Wow, that was an experience and a half. I think it's been a completely different beast running these workshops in this current like kind of climate. So it's like I'm well and truly honored that like all of you guys were able to commit 2 weeks to a workshop that we didn't really give you that much detail. We gave you a bit of the briefing event, but no schedules or anything. We just asked you to trust us for 2 weeks, which yeah, it really does warm my heart that like you guys were able to do that. And yeah, man, I'm trying not to get emotional about it, but the this workshop means a lot to me. I think back to I was just 19 when I took this workshop, and it completely changed my life. I think it really solidified where I wanted to be in the industry. I don't know if I would be running my own studio if it wasn't for this workshop. So it brings me joy to be able to share it with all you guys, and yeah, go change the world and make it better, and have fun doing it with each other, love each other.
Great. So now would be your opportunity to turn on your, give Abby a wave. Nice.
Love you all. You're so sweet. Too much. It's too much.
Great.
You can definitely stop this now.
Well, we got some people to get through, but yeah, amazing stuff, Abby. Thank you. Now, muted myself. I want to bring up, if everyone wants to turn the camera off again, and we'll hear from, I think we should get them solo. Let's get Adelaide up first. Now, some of you won't have met Adelaide because she's been working in a very specific context. But many of you will know her very well, and she has done wonders. Adelaide, how are you feeling? Where are you at?
Feeling pretty wild, to be honest. It's been absolutely great 2 weeks. It's been really interesting for me just to be able to watch like a lot of you guys get your ideas together from basically nothing to the like mini masterpieces that we saw yesterday. They were all really great in their own way. And I think even though I've done Module before and I've also worked on the workshop before, it's always really nice and like so wholesome to go through the group and see you going through like a lot of stages that perhaps I went through when I first did Module, and a lot that I didn't either. Like I definitely heard some people earlier when we were giving feedback saying stuff about how they started a workshop and they looked around everyone around them and they just said to themselves like, maybe I don't belong here perhaps. And I felt that really hard. So I know what it feels like to be there. And I really hope that now you guys know that you do, like you definitely do. This is perfect for you. And now you can go back into the world knowing that like you do have skills and you do belong and you've got a lot of stuff to offer to the world. I'm getting a bit sentimental, but overall, yeah, it was a really lovely workshop. It was great working with you guys. Really great to see everything you've come out with, and I hope it like really helps you to go do good things in the real world now. So yeah, thank you guys for taking part.
Okay, folks, cameras on Fridays. I gotta join in this one. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, thank you guys.
Scroll through those screens, Adelaide. Look at that.
It's so sweet.
Yeah. Amazing.
I'm loving all these waves. Aww.
Great. Nice one. Okay, well.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Let's get Tim up next. I think many of you will have worked with Tim. He gave some amazing crits. Yeah, Tim, how was it for you?
How was it for me? An interesting one, really. I mean, this won't mean anything to anybody here, but I've been in lots of little different situations during this workshop, doing lots of different jobs. And the job I ended up doing this time is one, yet again, completely different from one I've ever done before. I'm actually desperately working on something in the background right now, so it's always busy, no matter what situation you end up doing. Yeah, I had a great time. I was amazed at how well it worked. It happens every time. I'll quote myself. I have a habit of quoting myself when I do this bit. The first time I took part in Modual as a student, the thing I remember saying in this moment, when Fred asked me how it was for us, was I said that it felt like a fluke. And I was like, there's no way, it went really well for me and I had a great time, but there's no way it goes this well every single time. I've done it a lot of times now and I can tell you it goes this well every single time. There's always some bumps along the way, but it throws unique challenges every time, but it's always successful. And so it's a testament to how if you design something well, it'll work well.
Great, wise words, Tim. Let's hear it for Tim. Get those cameras on.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a cat. Michelle's cat is giving it out for Tim. Look at that. Pow.
That's all I want.
Okay. Thank you, Tim. Right. Let's do the first three of our staffers in ModOF. Let's get Connor, Anna, and Rebecca up, and we'll hear from you one by one if that's all right, and then we'll show them some appreciation. Not compulsory, obviously, but Connor, where were you at? How's it going for you?
Yeah, I'm truly humbled. Just seeing the amount of like great projects and just everyone coming together and caring. Yeah, it's an honor to even just be a part of this. Never mind overseeing it and like helping. Yeah, you guys, yeah, you should be really proud because what we're doing is, it's going to change the world and it's changing the world as we speak. So yeah, well done. And thank you for letting me be a part of this. It's an honor. Cheers.
I think we've got to do this one by one, haven't we? It ain't going to work any other way. Let's give it up for Connor. Might take a little bit longer, folks. Get those cameras on for Connor. Yes, pow! Back of the net. Sorry, I wanted to whiz through it. We can't whiz through this, man. That's the beard of the workshop. I try. I can't compete, unfortunately. My beard, my immaculate. Look at that. I'm loving some hands there. Nice one, Connor. Superstar. Great, Anna. You were just up. Let's get Anna up now.
Hi everyone. It was lovely working with all of you, like both all the participants and the staff team as well. And as Abby mentioned a bit earlier, like for me as well, the first time that I joined in Modual was 2019, and it kind of changed my entire like perspective on what design is for me and like the path I want to take as like a creative practitioner. Modual taught me like so much about design thinking, and especially I feel like I tend to, well, not so much now, but before doing Modual, I feel like I would start a project, I'd get really excited, and then I kind of would lose a bit of like interest. But then Modual taught me that if you have like a clear core vision with like a specific focus on something that you really care about, I noticed that having that kind of core, like it really helped me to, like, I don't get bored with my projects that like anymore. So that was like one thing that I really took away from my Modual experience when I was a participant. But again, through joining in this workshop again this time, and I'm sure like everyone had different reasons for joining Modual, but I hope that everyone kind of took something out of it, and I'm sure it's different for each person, but I hope you all enjoyed. And it was lovely working with all of you, and I really enjoyed and also learned so much through this entire process. So thank you, everyone.
Great. Cameras on for Anna, please.
Hi.
Oh yeah.
Great. Pow. Loving it. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. And Anna was also working on the website as well as looking after your teams, so she had a double duty. There we go. Rebecca, let's get Rebecca up. Dare I say this? A veteran of the first ever Module. Oh my geez. How was it?
Oh yeah. Oh, so good. So good to be back. Yeah, 2014. Baby Bex. module. Yeah, wow, it's just been so good to be back and to work with you all. And I said this to one of my groups earlier, but I'm going to say it again. Like, talent, there is so much talent in the room, but the true key is to be a good collaborator. Like, that will just take you the whole way. So yeah, just by being on this course, you have taken the first leap into that, and I hope it serves you well throughout your careers, starts of your career, end of your career. But yeah, it certainly served me well. And I owe Modual a lot to the decisions and path I took into the creative industry. I didn't know anyone at all, had no connections, and Modual has been my creative home massively. And yeah, sisterhood is the place where all girls can design their place in the world, and I owe that to Modual for giving me the courage to start that and co-found that with my co-founder Rachita. And yeah, it's been a dream to work here again. Amazing team. Fred, you're a total legend. And yeah, I've absolutely loved meeting you all, working with all of you, and super proud of what you've achieved. Well done.
Lovely. Give it up for Rebecca.
OG, the prototype.
Indeed, indeed. Respect is due. Give up the mad props. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, it's Hannah time. Let's have Hannah up. Over to you, Hannah.
Hello. Yeah, it was really emotional, actually. The fact that like so many people from so many time zones would sit through the night just to like, it's so humbling and like emotional, and just to like be sat there and see all of the projects come together. And like everybody else who has worked on Modual has said, like, it is so life-changing. Like, I keep in contact with actually all of my Modual team. Connor was on my team as well. And I know that a couple of people actually doing the module are friends with some other people from Pluna, which I think is adorable. Yeah, it's just really emotional. You know, I was sat there the other day and I was like, someone's up at like 3 a.m, like doing this project. Like, oh, it's just so emotional, and you should all be so proud of yourselves because the projects were incredible. But yeah, yeah.
Great. Hannah, you done? You got more?
No, that was it. I probably should have pieced out or something, but I didn't.
Peace out. Peace in. Big up, Hannah.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Thank you, Hannah. Okay, so we make a policy on Modual of always inviting people to new people into the staff. We've got some people who have been staffing for a while, but then sometimes you get people in who've never done it before. So it might be time for Aidan.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, I feel like I'm like the kind of the baby of Modual. You know, I did it last year, so yeah, I'm the kind of little kid, and I've got all the other staff looking after me. You know, I think Rebecca has essentially been my mother on this. I've joked about it for a bit, but yeah, I'm just kind of blown away by, you know, how well, you know, the teams have done, you know, and that I've been able to have a small impact on that in their process. And then also being part of this amazing team, it's just, yeah, I feel a bit emotional, but, you know, I'm not going to cry yet. But yeah, it's just, yeah, it's been really humbling being part of this team, you know, a bunch of really creative, talented people. And yeah, running this workshop's just, you know, amazing. So yeah, no, it's been amazing being part of this, and being, you know, being able to just do a little bit for all the people in it. So yeah, trust the process. That's what I've carried through. Yeah.
Nice one, Aidan. See it for Aidan. Aidan is the man who said on the first day, this isn't that difficult. And it wasn't. He made it look easy. Great. Thank you, Aidan. And thank you, peeps. Just, this is necessary. Now, Lily, you might not want to turn your camera off. Oh, come back, Lily. Come back. All yours.
Caught me off guard there. Say, like, with all the steps in module that I've ever had, whether it was participating or it was behind the scenes, I've had like a lot of fun, and it's just been really nice and like really, I guess, so I don't even know the word, but it's just been really nice to be involved in like a really loving kind of family-ish situation, you know, and everything that I had to say has just gone out the window. But yeah, no, I really enjoy being involved in like module, whether it's like participating, whether it's running behind the scenes, meeting new people. I really like that this time around that there was like a worldwide people that were coming in to enjoy it and see how we kind of do our thing. And yeah, since I'm kind of starstruck right now, I'm gonna leave it there.
Let's hear it for Lily. Yes. Great, thank you, Lily. Some people you don't see as much of as others. I'm sure all of you have experienced messages. Oh, indeed, many of you got crits yesterday from Sophia. Yay, Saf. You're on. How was it?
I've literally been feeling emotional since Fred started reading his poetry, because it is one of the most iconic things. You know module, you know Fred's poetry. Yeah, feeling a bit overwhelmed, honestly. It's been so amazing to be a part of this. I did this in first year, which was like 4 years ago now, and module has changed how I look at everything and see everything. Any deadline, I'm like, yo, if I did this in 3 days, I have nothing to fear. Oh, every module, Fred just tweaks it and makes it so different from the next one. And it's so amazing to have people who have never thought of themselves as designers or anything like that. And now they're like, yo, I can do this. Just jump in the deep end and you can learn it. It's so doable. Yeah, I'm just actually just, so it's just so happy to be here and with an amazing team. So thank you for letting me annoy you with my continuous @channel notifications. Love you guys. Good luck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, @channel me any day, Sophia.
Do it. Great, lovely. Thank you so much, Sophia, for everything. Thank you, everybody, for everything. And yeah, we have got a few bits of logistics to deal with later, but I think this is really important. I'm sure you agree with me that we honor everybody. We need to honor Diane, our international. We had several international pod leaders, but yeah, or staff members rather. But Diane, are you there? Oh, I can't see you on the list. Oh, that's a shame. All right, well, we'll come back to Diane. Maybe she's got a connection issue, but let's go in that case to Harry, who deals with our social media and has been pumping your names all over the place and indeed gave you a crit. So there you go. Harry, how was it for you?
Hey guys, I just want to say really well done, and actually that this process is it's times of turmoil really for the world, isn't it? Like Fred said earlier, but this process and seeing you guys, people from all over the world coming together to try and make positive change, it's just given me so much optimism for the future. So well done and thank you for that. And also thank you for everyone that engaged in the social media over the past 2 weeks, because we love this. We know this is a really important thing we're doing and that you're doing, and we want to share that with the whole world. So big love, guys.
Right, so for Harry, ripping up the social media, man. Plug ejects. So cool.
He knows how to make a post.
Oh yeah. Great, thank you, Harry. Okay, again, the module doesn't work without these guys and gals. Let's meet the tech team. Oh, whoa. A module, everyone's important, everyone's vital. These folks. Joe Jones in the place. Go for it. We'll do you one at a time. I think you deserve it. Let's go, Joe, first. Off you go.
Thank you. Yeah, that was quite wild for us, I think. I remember I had a meeting about a month ago with Fred in production, and he said, okay, for this one, we're thinking 200 participants and maybe 7 different time zones, to which my brain just kind of melted a little, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we felt that we got there we got there in the end. And very thankful to everyone for their patience and stuff as well. Whenever anyone had an issue, we did our best to get on it. And yeah, it was quite wild. It was nice to have be able to watch the launch as well, because I haven't really had time to watch the groups in this one. So it was lovely to see how much work everyone actually did in such a short space of time. Yeah, round of applause to everyone. Really well done. And yeah, keep making things, keep trying. And yeah, you guys have all the tools you need. Thanks, Ray. I'm going to go behind cam now, my natural habitat.
No, you got to stay here.
Oh, no.
You stay right there.
Joe Jones, everybody. He wants to go behind the camera so bad.
Yeah, I do. I bloody do.
Him.
Please. I want to go home.
Okay, well done. Well done. Yeah, it just doesn't happen without them. Let's do Tommaso, man of many outfits.
Hello, everybody. I got 2 computers on, so it's a bit weird. Okay. Yeah, the workshop was intense but lovely, and thank you to all of you for making it a bit less hard than it should have, might have been. Some of you have heard my voice in time of stress, and yeah, hopefully you won't have to hear my voice ever again in this workshop. So thank you and well done.
There we go. Give it up for Tommaso.
Short and sweet. But what
Nailed
a
it.
wonderful man.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tommaso, for everything. And we need the 3rd member of our tech team. Bristy. Let's get Bristy up. Yay, Bristy. All yours.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, so the last 2 weeks have been quite intense, but I have really enjoyed it. Yesterday was lovely because I haven't been able to see all the groups. So being able to see the final products, I've been able to see what an amazing job everyone's done. I think I did my module maybe 2 years ago, and I realized I've been able to use so many of the module exercises, even in like my personal work. So it's been really good. But yeah, super proud of everyone. I'm sorry if I've been annoying just messaging you to see if things are working, but we got there in the end. But yeah, well done, everyone.
Thanks, Bristy. Thank you for all that support.
Oh yeah, coming through with the eyes emoji whenever she's on a project and helping out. It's Bristy.
Oh yeah. Great. So we've got an awesome tech team, but we've also got an awesome broadcast team. In fact, we got a pretty much one-person broadcast team who's been dealing with all the live streaming, and that is Maria. Hey, Maria, you're on. How was it?
Hello, everyone. So it's been really fun to watch everyone on like 3 screens constantly every day, none of you knowing who I am. And I love it every time I would go in the room and the first thing I would hear is, are we being broadcasted? And the thing is, I always want to type back and tell you guys, yes, you are being broadcasted. But the difficulty is I would have to open a chat on the broadcast to do that. But I apologize for everyone that I've broadcasted without their permission. Don't worry, I have covered your face. But thank you for everybody else for putting up with me just randomly showing their face on the screen on Twitch every time of the day. And yeah, no, Modual, sick, amazing, always ever growing, always just blowing my mind. And I did my first one actually with Safia and Anna and Bristy, then did Modular afterwards. And all 4 of us are now working together. And I don't think that we would have our own studio if it wasn't, grammar, for Modual, in all honesty. Like, so much of my actual life right now after graduation from Camberwell, all of it is thanks to, hey Diane, all of it thanks to Modual. And literally, I've never done broadcast in my life, literally. And Modual was like, yeah, you'll be fine, just do it. And then I did it twice. No, not once, twice. And it went relatively well. So thank you for Modual for forcing me to improvise, forcing me to learn a job, and helping me make my life a better life. That sounded so dramatic, but yeah, love you, Modual.
Great, thanks, Maria. That broadcast was so slick, super slick. Loved it. Queen of the broadcast. Nice. Okay, so we now do have Diane. Diane, if you want to keep your camera on, that's great. We're just asking everybody who was on staff how it was, and you were helping us out all the way from Shanghai, weren't you? How was it?
Hi, Fred. Yeah, I was out for a while, and yeah, so sorry for that. And yeah, I'm really I feel a little bit sad for Mojo to end, and I really appreciate all the people I worked with. I think you are all great. Yeah, I don't have much to say actually. And I think I had a very unforgettable 2 weeks in Shanghai here, and I really want to see you soon.
We're coming.
Okay.
We're coming. Thanks so much, Diane. Helping out all the Chinese students. Couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you for being on WeChat the whole time. I was translating as many messages as I could, keeping my eye on it. But Diane was the queen of WeChat and helping you guys out. And she really saved us on launch day with sorting out some broadcasting. So, Diane.
Great, thank you, Dan. All right, we're nearly done, but there's 2 people without which the workshop would not happen. Let's see, Molly first, please, our first producer.
Well, I'm still on the beach from last night. Great. I was keeping my camera off because I wasn't sure if this was going to come up or not, but it's here. So anyway, yeah, no, just amazing whirlwind roller coaster. I think every time we do Modual and we watch everyone go on this like journey of discovery and like trusting the process, but I think what you maybe don't see is that we're also going on that too, and we are also like definitely Modual constantly. And I think Joe said earlier that he had like a week to prepare for 200 students. I think that's like I think it was more like 2 days. So yeah, thank you to my amazing team, or the amazing team that like it's just a dream team to work with, and just to all of the participants for trusting the process and coming with us and helping us like learn and discover how to work together better. We've learned so much. I've learned so much from this workshop. Yeah, I think just to reflect that it's always, I also work for design agency as well as working at Modual, and it's just something that like helps me to sort of reflect and think about how I work with people and how we can kind of collaborate and work together, and it's so inspiring. And yeah, doing this like big international workshop has been sort of an ambition of mine sort of since we started at Modual, just realizing like we can remove barriers to people participating and we can do stuff online and bring people in. So just to see it happening is like slightly overwhelming, a little bit mind blown by all of it. So yeah, thank you all for helping this to happen. Go on then, Fred, to hand over. I'm going to go back behind the scenes now.
No, keep that camera on, Molly. Keep that camera on.
Are you on that beach?
Right, can I go? No.
No.
It's not letting me disappear. Thank you. I feel lost about my other half, Fred. You need to introduce my other half.
Let's do it. Thank you so much, Molly.
It's your time.
If we could have Lucy, please, to the stage. You've heard her, you've seen her, all yours, Lucy.
You may have heard my voice yesterday, but you probably haven't seen my face. So I'm Lucy, and yeah, I remember getting a call from Fred back in gallery view. I don't want to see myself. Getting a call from Fred back in 2016 to say he was doing this amazing new workshop at UAL, and would I come on board as a producer? And I was really honoured, and was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And then I came up to London, having just suddenly had to get my head around this insane thing. Like it literally was just like a world that I just had to kind of like go into that and navigate my way around. And then just from then on, I've been hooked. So yeah, I've done at least 6 or 7 of these and loved every single one. And so many of our team that you've just met, I've worked with a few times, and I just am astounded every time. We just all grow in different ways. And one thing that you might not know about me is that I also, I graduated 15 years ago, and I just graduated in London, and I was kind of struggling to try and get work and money and afford to kind of live in that crazy city. And that's when I stumbled upon Fred and Nat when they used to run Airside. And they employed me to run a pop-up gallery space selling limited edition screen prints with EMI Music Publishing. And from then on, we formed not only just a really beautiful work connection, but also a really great friendship. And Fred and I have gone on to work in that kind of director-producer role for the past 15 years, which blows my mind. And I'm now based in Bristol. And I can truly say it's a complete gift to work alongside Fred. And then the way in which that he just manages to pull in other beings on this crazy planet that are just as beautiful and talented and skilled and wonderful as he is just, yeah, a testament. So well done to all of you for being a part of this. And yeah, I can vouch that this will be the beginning of something really amazing for you, and all of your projects literally made me well up at how incredible they were in touching back to kind of what our planet needs now in order to really enter into phenomenal positive and social change. So I really encourage you all to not let this be the end, and to use having met one another to form deeper connections and projects. And please just be the pioneers like Fred has been over these years, and just keep making and creating and challenging and pushing and growing. And yeah, and we're all here if you want any support. We would love to get involved in your projects. There's some that I really want to also get involved in. So yeah, reach out. And thank you, Fred, as always, for just bringing us all together. That's it.
Absolute pleasure, Lucy. Absolute pleasure. Lucy.
Woo.
Thank you. I'm going to disappear now.
Thank you for that, Lucy. Thank you, everybody. Okay, that's the full list. Yeah, a few last things we got to tell you on the admin front. We're going to merge your Slack channels together into one enormous Slack channel. So the Mod Live team, that's a free Slack channel. So we'll put everybody from the other classroom into that Slack channel. That's Adelaide's Slack channel. And then we're going to hand it over to you. So you can talk to each other. Someone was asking, I think it was Macan was asking, is that not right? Abby, have I got that wrong?
No. I think you may be doing something a little bit earlier. I think we may have missed out asking Fred how it was for you, Fred.
Yeah, me. Okay, fair enough. All right. He was going to do this later, but I'll do it now. Yeah, amazing. It's amazing. As always, I'm always surprised by how amazing it is. And you may have heard enough from me already, but very briefly, as I've already pointed out, there's people from the first module here, there's people from the last module here, and all the modules in between. And so you kind of represent all the module students that ever were right now, this cohort. So I want to say what a huge privilege to be part of your journey, part of your creative journey. I don't take it lightly. I hope I have served you and we have served you. Yeah, it's an honor to work with you. Yeah, it's an honor to have your trust, because this was a real experiment, as some people have said. You know, we hadn't done a workshop this size before, and we didn't know if it was going to work. And for some reason, I have this amazing bunch of people who are prepared to follow me into these crazy situations, and indeed lead me into these crazy situations, because it's very much so. But specifically to you guys, thank you so much for being up for it, and yeah, really appreciate it. And I guess the other thing I want to say is, hang on, nearly done. Is that, yeah, seeing things like Module emerging, you know, this has all been cobbled together over the last 6-7 years. This is not mine, this is everybody's. So when I see people, whether they're students or staff, doing things that feel a bit like Module, that makes me so happy and so proud. And so, you know, don't hold back, take this energy out into the world, please, and let me know, you know, because at some point I'm gonna want to take your workshop, and yeah, at some point it'll be you sitting here. So yeah, an honor. Thank you so much.
Cameras on, please, for Professor of Digital Arts, Fred Deacon.
Turn your sound on, give him a cheer. Woo!
Great, thank you so much, folks. I really appreciate it.
Now I'll let you carry on.
Thank you, Abby. Good intervention. I liked it. All righty. Yeah, so quickly we're going to merge the Slack channels together. Thank you for bearing with us on this session. I think we will be done by 4, and sticking for all the sessions. Really appreciate it. But yeah, we're done now. That is it. But logistically, yeah, we're going to merge the Slack channels. We'll pass over control to you at some point. I don't know quite how we're going to do that, but we will. So if you want to carry on using that free Slack channel to talk to each other and work out what's going to happen next, that's the way to do it. As I say, I think I saw a chat comment from Macan. Yeah, do that. If people don't want to share, if they don't want to join in the Slack channel, that's fine. Let people, if it might be private, but that's fine. People were asking about the video that we showed of the workshop. We're just making a final version of that. So a more polished version of that. And when that is ready, we will stick a link on the Slack channel. So if you're on that Slack channel, you'll be able to hear about it. Please, if you've got any photos or anything else you want to share with us, that would be great. We love documenting the workshop, so please upload them on Slack. And finally, I think that, finally from me anyway, there was a request for an e-certificate. Now, let's be super clear about this. This is not a UAL qualification in any way, shape or form. We have drafted something a little bit more casual. Don't bother about waving it at an employer's face, because it won't do you any good. But maybe it's something to remind you of us. So we're going to post that on Slack as well. You can feel free to print it out. It's another lovely piece of design from the amazing Snooty Studios. So there you go. I think that's all I've got. Anybody else on the team side got anything before we go?
I think I'd like to request that we do a bit of a group photo.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to organise this a bit like a school photo. Can we have everyone who's here to turn their cameras on, if you can, please? Turning them on, turning them on. A couple more cameras, please. Yeah, filling up, filling it up. Sorry, Shivani, your camera doesn't turn on. Let's see if I can find you.
I think we got a camera. Oh yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Take on it. I'm staying out of this.
Already on it. Turn your cameras on if you can. And what we're going to do is I'm going to screenshot through the pages of us so that we can get a full breadth of how many people are here. So I will do a very prolonged cheese and everyone can smile and pose for the camera. I think a couple more on page 6. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Okay. I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 and then do a very, very long cheese. Adelaide, turn your camera on. I see you're off. Turn it on. All right. Change my chat. All right. You ready? Get your best smiling on. 3, 2, 1. Cheese. Hold it. Smile. I'm going to the next page. Stay there. Please stay there. I'm screenshotting as we go. All right, next page. Next page. Smiling. I literally feel like I'm doing a school photograph. It's fantastic. I've always wondered what this job was like. Yeah, smiley faces. Oh, I love that. Posing with the San Pellegrino. Great stuff. Thank you so much. Appreciate that a lot.
Okay, that might be a wrap, folks. Anybody else got anything?
Fred, if you could offer any final words of wisdom from a module perspective, what would you leave us all with? Because I think we all need it. We need your oracle of wisdom to kind of send us out. Is there anything that you would say to us all?
I would say that you are the change and you don't need me or anybody else to make the change happen. That's what I would say.
Amazing.
There's just joy and trust.
Thank you, Fred.
You're welcome. Right, we're going to go and lie down now. But thanks again, folks. And that is a wrap. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you around.
Stay in touch. Do stay in touch, please. Love to hear what you get up to.
Big, big love. Big love. I'm gonna finish it on the Truman Show as before. If I don't see you, good evening, good afternoon, and good night.